everybody. This is Big Stack Numismatics, and welcome to all my fellow coin collectors out there. It is Saturday, May 15th, and I just want to go over the various graded piece dollars that I have in my collection and talk about my motivations behind the purchase of these pieces, as well as what I plan to do going forward regarding future piece dollar purchases for my collection. A little bit of a backstory. So I come from a stacking background. The last 8 years, I've been picking up low premium silver, gold, platinum, bullion, coins, rounds, bars, you name it, right? And over the process of doing that, have come to fall in love with numismatics as well. And so the peace dollar specifically right away grabbed my eye. And, the majority of peace dollars that I own would be either considered in call or definitely circulated condition. And so when I got my hands on my first graded piece, I was just like fascinated, like, wow, these are really beautiful. When you're looking at something that's mint state comparatively to stuff that's been in circulation, you can come for an appreciation. But I have three different specimens here. The very first one is a 1923 common date MS61. So let's just take a quick look at this. Okay. And for someone like me, one of the first things that I do when I have time for research is I go and find a video on how do you grade these? What's the difference between a 61 and a 62 and on, right? And of course this one, a few dings here and there, and the fields are not particularly free of defects. But still a nice coin nonetheless. There is some mint luster there. But we're going to compare this MS61 piece, with this MS62 piece. Also 1923, common date. This one has far more luster, the cartwheeling effect. It's amazing how much more I like this piece dollar than the previous one. Okay. Now, what's interesting value-wise between the two of these, I'll put them side by side here while I go through this part. Actually, before I do that, I'm gonna give a shout out to John Rebick. I encourage you to find his channel on YouTube and subscribe. In fact, I'll put a link in the description of a correlating video. Check out his video, Silver Piece Dollars, Recommendations and Thoughts. I'll put a link to that video. And a shout out to John, because John is one of those people that was there several years ago watching some of my videos and giving me some thoughts and recommendations regarding numismatic purchases that I had at the time, because I was so new to it. And the funny thing is in the stacking community, a lot of times numismatics are frowned upon because, you can't, in stacking you have the intrinsic value of the metal, and that for a lot of people that's their thing. They don't understand why someone would pay a premium for something like this when I can buy the same piece for half as much, in circulated. It's the same amount of silver, right? It's obviously, for those of us that collect coins, we think differently in terms of how the value is, and we understand that there's a market for people that are looking for various coins and filling out collections and all that kind of stuff, and that there's it may not be purely based on the intrinsic value, but you know what I'm getting at with that. At any rate, John was very, very instrumental in helping me to understand how to trust in the numismatic world a little bit and get me in. So just a shout out to him, and he's involved with the Garfield Heights Coin Club. And so check him out on YouTube, because he's fantastic. He's got a lot of good advice. One of the things he talks about in this video, the Silver Piece Dollars Recommendations and Thoughts, is finding that numismatic sweet spot. So here's an example. 1961. This one right now, based on consumer price guides like PCGS, not dealer gray sheet or anything like that. This one here is worth $46. Okay? Take a guess at what the 62 is. $55. So you got a $9 difference. So if you're looking to fill out your collection, would you buy this one or would you buy this one? Right? From a purely, grading standpoint, of course you're going to want to spend a few extra bucks and get the MS62. From a viewpoint of which coin would you want, I want the far more lustrous one. Like, this one has eye appeal. And of course, they say buy the coin, not the holder, and I completely agree with that. right? But definitely this would be the better buy. But if you had the choice, if you went up even one more grade, the MS63 is $60. Well, that's $5 more than the 62. So it's like if you find a nice looking coin in 63 and you have a choice between the two, of course get the best graded one that you can for the smallest amount of money increase. It's not that much more when you're paying $5 extra for a 63 versus a 62. Well, let's continue that mindset, okay? Well, a 64 would be $80. A 65 would be double that, $160. A 66, you're jumping all the way up to $400. And a 67, times that by 10 and then some because it's $4,500. Crazy the amount of increase that's there, right? So I like the idea of that numismatic sweet spot. If you're going to fill out something in your collection, try to get, of course you want to buy the coin that looks the best to you. I can't stress that enough. It's how important that is. If you're spending money on a coin, you might as well get one that looks, that you're going to want to continue looking at, right? But from a grading perspective, if you have a choice, buy the best that you can that's a reasonable step up in money before you get to that cliff, right? An example would be like that 66 versus the 67. 66 being worth $400 in 1923 versus the 67, which was worth $4,500, right? Using that kind of mindset, I did want to find a really nice example of a graded peace dollar that's definitely better than the 61 or 62. So I went out and I thought, what can I do to try to find an MS66 peace dollar? Because one of the things I love about numismatics is I get to see some of these pieces that I've handled so frequently, and I want to see a specimen that the average person is never going to encounter in their entire life, right? A true MS66 or above peace dollars, they're highly sought after. The cheapest of which is right now, if you're going to see an MS67, good luck finding one for less than, $3,900 or $4,000 or something like that, right? But at any rate, this is the one that I came up with. Take a look at this. And this luster of this one compared to the other two is just fantastic. Well, first of all, MS66. This is a 1925. And of course, how much cleaner the fields are in this piece. The luster is just booming. Just a beautiful coin. So yeah, seeing a peace dollar in this condition is just so cool. And I just recently, in my other channel, I went on a vacation and stopped into South Dakota and stopped at a coin store and just to see what they had. Ended up buying 3 random peace dollars out of their bin that they had. I paid like, I don't know, $30 each or something like that, just to give to one to each of my kiddos, because they appreciate the peace dollar design as well. And to show them that, and then to show them this, that look in their eyes, like, oh, they can tell. It's like they know what mint luster is, and they understand then why something like this would have so much more value. Now, when I purchased this $340, I think I paid for this piece, which is a pretty penny for a $1 silver coin, right? Right now, at least in terms of the PCGS website, the value has gone back up to around $450. So that's pretty cool. The market fluctuates with pieces like this, but high grade peace dollars are always in demand, I found. I really can't wait for things to open back up so I can go back to a coin show, because that's a lot of fun to see what everyone else has out there. But it would be common, and John mentions this in his video, it would be common for a high-grade peace dollar like this to sell for higher than dealer gray sheet at a coin show. So what's next for me in terms of peace dollars? Well, I do not have a 1921 high relief yet. So I want one. Okay, I really do, but I want to get a nice one because they're valuable. I think even in AU condition, you're over $100 if I remember correctly. I could be wrong on that, but it scales up quite a bit. If you wanted to get one in this condition in 1921, it's well over $1,000, maybe significantly more. So yeah, I'm probably going to be keeping my eye open. I want to buy one that looks nice, so I don't want to just buy something over the internet if I can handle it, unless they got really, really good pictures. But I would love to go to like a Chicago coin show or something really big with with a wad of cash in my pocket, ready to splurge on a coin like that would just be fantastic. So that's what my next goal is in terms of peace dollars. Now I know a lot of people try to. You could actually collect all of the peace dollars, everything going from 1921 all the way up through 35, and over the course of a few years, as John mentioned in his video, you could fill out your entire collection. I don't have enough of anything to fill out a collection. Right now, my goal in terms of U.S. numismatics is just to try to get as many of of the kinds of U.S. coinage that are out there, a good example of everything, if I can. I've dabbled into the half-dollar commemoratives, and of course a lot of the earlier stuff too. A bucket list item for me is going to be to get a flowing hair silver dollar and a silver half dollar and all the way down to the cent if I can. May never happen, but it's a wish list, So it's things like that are really exciting for me regarding numismatics. But anyway, just wanted to talk a little bit about the peace dollar collection that I had and show this nice luster bomb here, MS66. So there you go. Thanks so much for watching. I'll be back at you soon. This is Big Stack Numismatics, and hope you have a great weekend. Take care.